All right, what up? What up? Let's talk some hoops. All right, so the I'm gonna be doing a recap of the games yesterday, last night. The main two ones that I watched were the Sixers versus the Bucks, and then the Suns versus the Clippers. So first, the Sixers and the Bucks. Obviously, the Sixers are missing Paul George and Joel Embiid. One thing I wanted to touch on was how I feel about. I'm not sure how I exactly feel about the whole thing with Joel Embiid. How he's like, they're saying that he's like never going to play back to backs for the rest of his career, and that like this whole season is kind of trying to get him geared up towards the playoffs, and like so he's not going to play a whole ton of games. And the NBA actually, I saw that they're likely to investigate that to see if it interferes with the rule they put in place with the load management, trying to prevent that from happening. But yeah, so I'm not really sure how just at what cost. I feel like because like their whole offense runs through Joel Embiid, so if he's not there a lot, they do have Tyrese Maxey, who I think is obviously broke out last year, won Most Improved Player and averaging like 26 points per game, and I think he's gonna hopefully take another jump this year too. And he looked pretty good this game. The only thing that I would say is that he struggled with efficiency, but he looked like he was ready to put the team on his shoulders and really go out there and get to work. So that was good seeing that from him. Yeah, he struggled with efficiency, but other than that, it was solid. And it's kind of hard to like great because obviously the Bucks won. The Sixers are missing like two of their best three players, so it's kind of tough to expect them to win that. But they were in it for quite a bit until like about the second half. Then the Bucks kind of pulled away. I will say Gershon Yabusele, he looked really good off the bench with his first NBA game back, getting his opportunity back in the league from his play in the Olympics. And I will say that he played pretty good. He had a lot of effort plays, a couple of good offensive rebounds, putting it back up, and he just looked like he was out there and comfortable, and he looked pretty good. We did get into foul trouble, but what I did notice is that with those five fouls, he played some pretty good defense in the third quarter. And the fourth quarter, and but then he later fouled out later in the fourth quarter. But with those five fouls, he played some pretty good defense. So they looked pretty good. And then the Bucks, they looked very good too. Brooke Lopez looks like he didn't lose a step. Six blocks, great rim protection, and just having him as a rim protector and then also being able to space the floor and shoot is just a great thing for the Bucks to have. Another thing is the Lopez screens for Dame was very effective. Dame heated up, ended with 30 points, and it was a great game for Dame. And then there were two instances where Brooke Lopez just went up, set the screen, and then Damian Lillard came off, put up a shot. And then another one where Brooke Lopez, he kind of just used his body. He was like moving, and then just like kind of like the defender trying to get around him and get around the screen. While he was just kind of like using his body without it being a moving screen. He was just kind of like walking up and then like turning. And then Damian Lillard put it up and then another three. So that two-man game looked really good. And then Giannis looked great. Only thing about him, well, I guess that he's kind of been doing that his whole career, or this his whole career, but struggling from the free throw line, only shooting 56% from the free throw line while shooting a good amount of free throws. So that was the only thing that wasn't great. Yeah, he shot 9 for 16 from the free throw line. So that wasn't too great. But yeah, he still looked dominant, had a good block. Always great roaming defense that he has. Help defense is great. And he had 25 points and 14 rebounds, so that was great for him. Overall, it was a great game. What else? Yeah. Also, Torian Prince had a good game, was hitting the shot, so that was good to see for him. And yeah, the Bucks won that one, pretty expected. Seeing that the Sixers missing two of their best players. So yeah, next game was the Suns and the Clippers that I watched, and yeah, this was the Suns were up by 15 points earlier in the game, and it looked like they were going to pull away because the Clippers they're in a tough situation. One thing I'll like to speak on, just how I think about it, is the Clippers. They're in a really tough situation because they don't own any of their picks until I believe 2030 or 2031. So that's like that's like a good 6 years that they don't have any picks. And then their pick that they would have had this upcoming year will go to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they're already insanely good as they are, especially adding in those two great pieces. But yeah, so they own that pick, and assuming that since Kawhi is out indefinitely right now, they will most likely, if I were a betting man, I would assume that they're not going to be good. So that means that if they're up on the bottom, let's say they're bottom 10 to 15 seeds, say they miss the playoffs, then that could be a top 10 pick for the Oklahoma City Thunder that would have gone to the Oklahoma City, or that would have gone to the Los Angeles Clippers. So that is tough for them. And then also an aging James Harden and an injury riddled, getting older Kawhi Leonard are not really. They don't have good trade value around the league. So that's another thing that's tough for them. So they're kind of just stuck. They just need to. And then having the new $2 billion Intuit Dome Stadium that they opened up and had their first game in today, just having that, it's just kind of a tough situation for them. But onto the game. One thing I noticed for the Suns, yeah, they eventually won in overtime, so that was good for them. I really feel like they should have won that more easily, especially considering that Kawhi Leonard's out. But one thing I would say is that I think Kevin Durant needs to be more aggressive and put up more shots. And he did end the game with 17 shot attempts, so that's better. But nearing the end of the third quarter, he only had, and into the fourth, I believe, he only had like 10 shots put up. And he needs to put up more shots than that because he was efficient. He was, towards the end of the game, he missed a few shots in overtime and late in the fourth. So, but he did hit that one clutch shot. That was crazy. Like, it was, what was it? It was like to tie the game after Harden got a shot up and made it. And then it was like over two people, fade away, and then it went in. It's just, he's one of the greatest scorers, in my opinion, of all time. Yeah, so that was a crazy shot. But yeah, I think he just needs to put up more shots. And another thing that I kind of wanted to see the Suns, so now that they have Mike Budenholzer, he is really, his identity offensively is just trying to get the team to put up more 3-point shots. And it was good to see that they put up 39 shots, especially on a 39% clip. That was pretty good. I would like to see them, and that was also including overtime, so I would like to see them put up more 3-pointers because near the fourth quarter, I believe they were at like 33 or something. So I would say that they should be closer to like, hopefully like 40 threes a game. I feel like that's where they should try and strive to be at. Bradley Beal also played pretty well. He was efficient, and in the preseason, I noticed he struggled quite a bit. So it was good to see that he did well. Tyus Jones, very effective, 11 points. And then the main thing, though, is the 8 assists and 0 turnovers. So that was very good. Tyus doing Tyus things, yep. So that was good for him. And then, yeah, Kevin Durant, 7 turnovers. That wasn't too great. Devin Booker struggled. Yeah, and then for the Clippers, they played great defense in the third quarter to cut the lead down, or to cut the deficit down, and then eventually get the lead later in the fourth. So they did great on that, playing great defense and just getting the hand in passing lanes, and yeah, just overall playing some good defense. And then, yeah, they got back into it after being down 15, so that was good for them. And then Harden struggled in the first half, only had 4 points, but then started heating up. Like, it's James Harden, even though he's not in his prime anymore. It's not Houston Harden anymore, putting up 36 a game. But he ended with 29 and 12 and 8, so it's a good stat line. But it was pretty inefficient. He shot it at some not so great splits. Let me pull it up. Yeah, he shot at 35% from the field and 22% from three. So that wasn't great efficiency. But overall, he had a great second half. He was putting shots down, facilitating for his teammates. And yeah, so it was pretty good game. And the Suns won it in overtime. And then, yeah, so that's the recap of the games. And let me know in the comments down below what y'all thought about the games. And if you made it this far, make sure to subscribe and like the video. And if you want to see some more NBA content, and then also let me know in the comments down below if you have any video ideas about, like, I could make like a top 50 NBA players or just anything NBA related. Let me know.